In Los Alamos, they're very upset that we want to change the mission. They say that if we ban nuclear, then they're closed down. And they insist it's because that's their mission to be doing nuclear. Is there any chance of changing
Absolutely.
the mission?
What I've thought for some time, there was a
What
very...
was the question?
The question is there a chance to change the mission of the national labs? And if you notice that for years they've been called the National Nuclear Security Labs. Well, for a number of years now, you know, Sandia, for example, used to be 100% of their budget was around the nuclear deterrent. Today, it's below 40%. So yes, you can change the mission, and there was a very good bipartisan commission that came to us a couple of years ago and said, we need to start thinking about this, all of these labs as national security labs. And we mean that to mean energy security, we mean that to do the computer modeling, to deal with climate change, we mean that to do the computer modeling, to deal with the water shortages that we're seeing now in the Mideast and Central Asia that make these conflicts worse. And I think actually Sandia is a pretty good model to show that that works. You can change that balance over time. I'll say one thing in Los Alamos' defense on this issue, and one, I agree with you. We need to get those minds to work on the greatest issues of our time.
Yes.
When I was a kid, we had 4 or 5 times as many nuclear weapons active in this country as we do today. And Los Alamos has done a very good job of making sure to support the arms control treaties that have allowed that transition to happen. And I think, I'd have to look at the math, but it's something like we have 15, 16%, not over 20% of where we were back in the early 1980s, mid-1980s. That is not the end-all be-all, but it sure is progress to have thousands and thousands of nuclear weapons not pointed at another state in the world. And we need to do that in a way that makes sure that they're doing the same thing too. And we have seen many of those programs that our labs employ in counter-proliferation and making sure that we don't get loose fissile material become the target of budget cuts. And that does not serve the interest that we all have in a much safer world where the odds of a nuclear release are as low as we can possibly get them. And so we need to be smart about how we define that mission and move them in a direction that supports our long-term national security.